There are huge changes coming to D'Angelo Russell, and Darvin Ham has high praise for Anthony Davis. What's good, y'all, and welcome to another video of Lakers Digest. I'm your host, Okechi Apakama, and per usual, we got a lot to talk about, so let's hop straight into things. First things first, this changes everything for D'Lo. So, D'Angelo Russell has been a guy that's been coming off of sort of like a rough end to the end of the season there in the Western Conference Finals, and a lot of people were sort of like looking at him as like, oh, can he be a guy who can be relied upon? Could he be a guy that could be effective on the defensive end? And D'Angelo Russell has kind of heard that, and it's kind of like taken upon himself with a new level of effort and focus on the defensive end. And then he said here in a post game after the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Lakers preseason game on Sunday, he said that his inspiration has been Derrick White. I want to be Derrick White. He doesn't get a lot of credit for what he does. He makes a lot of winning plays. That's what I want to be. And it is really great and genuine to see a guy like D'Angelo Russell sort of like take up this responsibility and this commitment on the defensive end, for he's a guy that wants to be looked at as a guy that not only is a threat on the offensive end, but a guy that you gotta pinpoint defensively as well. This seems like we finally are reaching the point of fully realized D'Angelo Russell, a guy who not only knows his worth and not knows what he can do on offensive end, but also showing that he can be a player on the defensive end, as he's been a guy we've seen in this early preseason, like he's been guarding full court. He's been a guy who's been tremendous in team defense, in the passing lanes, getting steals, and he's been a guy like that the Lakers have not only seen great strides on that end, the defensive end, but he's a guy that truly just understands his place and his role with this team. And it's really showcasing in the way his game is starting to grow in other aspects of the game. And D'Angelo Russell, coming into his 9th season here in the NBA, and he's coming into like also a leadership role with this Laker team, because he's going to be one of the lead guards on this team, as he is the most veteran guy that they've got, and he's been through a lot. So having D'Angelo Russell sort of like really come to this point in his career and showcase like what he can do, I think this is the fully optimized version of D'Angelo Russell. We might be looking at probably one of D'Angelo Russell's better all-around seasons if he keeps up this type of play and commitment on the defensive end. Because as a guy that was seen as a weak link, and now having him shore up his defense only makes his Laker team so much stronger. And making this Laker team so much stronger is only going to help them reach to their eventual end goal. And obviously that's to raise a banner number 18. And D'Angelo Russell being that guy, not only just saying it with his words, but saying it with his commitment and his effort and energy on that defensive end, it really shows how committed he really is. And it really comes from top on down to the bottom. So as that leads me into my next topic here, Darvin Ham has high praise for Anthony Davis. So there has been a lot of talk about Anthony Davis, about him getting that new extension, and him possibly being the face of the Lakers now. And I think Darvin Ham also agrees with that, because Darvin Ham has high praise for Anthony Davis. In the postgame, he said after the Milwaukee Bucks preseason game, he said that I see a level of focus that's been infectious. He's been phenomenal, and he's been the heart and soul of our team. So that was what Darvin Ham said about Anthony Davis, and also in just like a larger respect to what he's been doing in the preseason, and not only just the preseason, but the work he's committed to in the offseason as well. As Darvin Ham quoted him as a guy that came in quickly, and he's been committed to the work. Anthony Davis has been a guy that people like looked at as, very injury prone. It's like, he's a guy that's like wishy-washy and stuff like that, but not this season. Anthony Davis has come in with that level of commitment, and also not only with his play, but just his leadership and what he says vocally as well, as he's going to be looked at as one of the main guys to lead this Lakers team to where they want to go. And having Anthony Davis already be the fulcrum that he is on the defensive end and being the end-all be-all, but now with this new found Laker team and all the new shooting and new upgrades in every position and more offensively talented guys, they're able to showcase Anthony Davis in a new way, unlike last season where he was mostly just a pick and roll receiver. Having Anthony Davis now be a guy who can be a fulcrum of your offense, where they're giving him the ball in 5-out spacing at the top of the key, and he's able to create with other guys. All the shooting gives him the space in the world to use that signature ball handling skills that he's got, and he gets a lot of big men and a lot of guys who play his position off balance with his offensive repertoire. And Anthony Davis sort of not only showing that he can be this type of guy, as he's also been like the guy that's led the Lakers in most of the important stats for the preseason, where he's been a guy leading in points, guy leading in rebounds, leading in steals, leading in blocks. Anthony Davis has been the guy. And this is sort of going to be the new jump off board to this next era of, I think, Lakers basketball, as Anthony Davis is the leader. Like, that big 3-year extension they gave him was not only just for what he's done, but what he's going to continue to do for this team. Remember, Anthony Davis just turned 30 years old, and so he's reaching probably the prime and apex of his career. So we could see another fully realized version of Anthony Davis. And as long as he's out there and healthy and playing, I think Anthony Davis is one of the best big men in the world. And with this Laker team, with their newfound talent and newfound shooting and just newfound wealth of guys that they can play around him, I think is just going to showcase what this team can really possibly do this season as they try to reach for the ultimate goal, banner number 18. And Darvin Ham is right behind him as pushing as Anthony Davis to be that guy. But also Anthony Davis has mostly been doing this on his own, because he's a guy that, you know, did not like the taste of how the season ended, getting swept in the Western Conference Finals. And now he's got a full season with these new guys and also the guys that came in through the trade to build a foundation and build on what they ended in the last season and build into something new and hopefully super prosperous. Because Laker fans, like, I'm super excited. I'm geeked out. Like, we're less than a week before like the regular season starts. So if you guys want to hear more Laker news, Laker content, just anything at all Lakers, come over to Lakers Digest, hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and throw a comment or two. You know, we all read them. So check in, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I'm gonna be signing out.